Good morning, students. In the previous session of this subject, that is rehabilitation and retrofitting of structures, we have discussed some of the basic definition. That is, what is the definition of repair, rehabilitation, retrofitting, deterioration, and also distress. Along with that, we have discussed regarding the durability of concrete and also durability of structures. Okay. So in this session, we can continue the different causes of the deterioration. So after listening to this session, the students can understand the different causes of deterioration. That means how actually what are the different causes for deteriorations to deteriorate the structures. Okay. So according to our syllabus, as usual, we are having in the first module. Now today we are going to take this session. In this session, we are going to discuss regarding the different causes for the deterioration of structure, that is physical, chemical, and also the mechanical causes. Okay, after that we can continue. So first let us see how actually the damages of the structures is visible. So we are having the different causes for the deterioration of structures, such as physical causes, chemical causes, and also mechanical causes. So here this is the some of the things which we can decide the structures will get deteriorated or distress or deteriorated. So generally the discolorization, we know how actually the concrete structures will be, the concrete color will be. So due to the some of the chemical reactions, the color of the concrete or concrete structures will changes. From this we can understand the structure will initiate the distress and also finally it may get deteriorated. Next, coming to the cracking. So generally we know in the RCC also we have studied, and according to 456 we are having some of the limitations with respect to the crack width also. So generally after construction we are trying to construct the structure such that it should not be cracked. So generally what happens if the distress is happens, for example in the shrinkage, when we are having a drying shrinkage and also heterogeneous shrinkage, in that what happens, the cracks will develop. So based on that we can finalize the structures will get initiates the distress or iteration. Next, coming to the spalling of materials, for example we're having a spalling of the concrete cover. That means spalling means what, the falling means the concrete pieces is gets into separate. For example, when it is the fire, accidental fire is occurs or elevated temperature occurs, the concrete cover will separate from the concrete element. For this, we are calling as a spalling. Next, deformation and deteriorations. We know the deformations due to the overloading and due to the large spans. For example, if we are not satisfied the L by D ratio according to our codal provisions, the deformations will occur. Okay, by that also we can decide the distress or deterioration of the concrete will initiate. Next, finally, we are having a collapse of the structure that may totally it may collapse or partially it may collapse. Ultimately, the structures will. These are the some of the things we can analyze or we can decide the concrete structures will get deteriorations starts or distress will initiate. Next, coming to the different causes of deterioration. So the structures will get deteriorated based on the three different causes, that is physical causes, chemical causes, and also the mechanical causes. So physical causes means, for example, the some physical changes will occur in the structures, okay, or structural elements that may cracks will develop, and due to the expansion and contractions, we're having a internal stresses will develop due to the weathering, and falling will occur due to the fire and elevated temperature, and also the thermal movement, and we're having constructional error. All these will comes under the physical causes. Next, we are having some of the chemical causes. Chemical causes means the while manufacturing the cement, so different oxides is used to in the manufacturing process of cement. That means based on the requirement type of cement, we are using a different proportions of oxides. So due to the unwanted entry of, for example, oxygen or moisture, so what happens along with the oxides, it develops the chemical reactions which causes the which initiates the distress of the concrete. Next, coming to the mechanical causes, for example, we are having a settlement of foundations and overloading. All this is coming under the mechanical causes. So what I want to say is these are the different types of the deterioration. That is physical causes, chemical causes, and also the mechanical causes. That means the distress of the concrete structures will initiate because based on these three causes. Next, these are the some of the photographs. Just I want to show the concrete structures. Here you can observe the due to the spalling, okay, or due to the some of the things, what happens, the reinforcement is exposed to the environment. Okay, reinforce is exposed to the environment. So here the corrosion will occur. If once the corrosion initiates, the corrosion process will continuous, so that the concrete structures will get distress. It initiates the distress and ultimately it will get deterioration. So here also we can observe here the for this we are calling as spalling. Okay, see here some of the concrete cover will came out. Okay. Next, just let us go through the physical, what are the different physical causes. So we are having shrinkage, freezing and thawing, weathering, abrasion, temperature, fire, thermal movement, construction error, and design errors. So all this will cause us the physical changes in the structural element. For this, we are calling as a physical causes. Next, coming to the chemical causes. So as I said, in the durability of concrete, we have studied regarding the internal causes and also the external causes. So the meaning of external causes is nothing but the chemical causes of the deterioration of concrete structure. That is due to the ingress of the, for example, carbon dioxide, moisture, and water. So which develops the some of the chemical reactions inside the concrete mass, which initiates the distress and ultimately it may get deteriorated. So some of the chemical causes like acid attack, we are having aggressive water attack, alkali silica reaction, alkali aggregate reaction, sulfate attack. Now we have studied all these things in the previous in the lower semester. That is alkali aggregate reactions. What actually the alkali aggregate reactions? What is the effect of acid attack and what is the effect of sulfate attack? All these things we have studied. Now in this semester also, in the next sessions we can study in details what is the how actually it affects the deterioration of the concrete structures. Next, coming to the mechanical cause. So settlement and movement. So settlement of the foundations which develop the distress or ultimately the deterioration will cause. Next, the accidental loads. Some of the accidental loads, for example, while designing, we are not considering the lateral loads, that is earthquake loads and also the wind loads. So this is the accidental loads. So unexpectedly, the some of the loads will act on the structures. It may get deteriorates. The structure will get for this we are calling as mechanical cause. So ultimately, we are having the physical cause, chemical cause, and also the mechanical cause. Okay. In the next session, we are going to study in detail the different physical causes.